Have you ever found yourself watching the news and thinking, am I the only one that didn't know celebrities could actually lose elections? It's a strange thought, isn't it? We see them everywhere, on our screens, at awards shows, in our social media feeds, wielding what seems like immense influence. They endorse products, and we buy them. They recommend movies, and we watch them. So, when they endorse a political candidate, the assumption is that their millions of followers will naturally follow suit. But what if that assumption is fundamentally flawed? What if in the high-stakes world of politics, celebrity star power isn't just ineffective, but actively damaging? Well, according to one of television's most enduring and controversial figures, they're doing exactly that. Bill Maher, the longtime liberal contrarian and host of HBO's Real Time, has been sounding this alarm with increasing urgency. He argues that the Democratic Party's cozy relationship with Hollywood is becoming a significant political liability. So, let's get to the straight talk. This isn't just a one-off comment or a throwaway line in a monologue. This is a core part of a sustained critique Maher has been building for years, and it's reached a fever pitch. Bill Maher has built a career on being the gadfly of the left, the self-proclaimed House liberal, who refuses to toe any party line. For decades, he's used his platform to challenge orthodoxies, and lately, his sights have been firmly set on his own side of the aisle, particularly its most glamorous and visible allies. In a widely circulated interview this past January, he didn't mince words. He called Hollywood the epicenter of the woke left, a bubble of progressive purity that is dangerously out of touch with the rest of the country. He described a culture where actors and artists, living in a world of immense privilege, lecture average Americans about their values and priorities. His advice to these politically active celebrities was blunt, to say the least. He said they should, and I'm quoting here with a bit of discretion, shut the F up. Why such a harsh directive? Because, in his view, their very public, often sanctimonious activism isn't winning converts. It's creating resentment. Maher's central argument is that celebrity activism, far from being a powerful tool for persuasion, may actually repel the very voters Democrats need to win over. The independents, the moderates, the working-class families who don't live in Los Angeles or New York. He suggests that when a multimillionaire actor lectures a factory worker about social justice, the message gets lost. The messenger becomes the issue. And he insists this isn't just a gut feeling. He points to polling data and real-world examples to back it up. Studies have consistently shown that voters, particularly undecided ones, are highly skeptical of celebrity political endorsements. A 2018 poll, for instance, found that 66% of Americans said celebrity endorsements made no difference to their vote, while a small but significant percentage said it would actually make them less likely to support a candidate. This isn't an isolated finding. Meta-analyses of political science research confirm this trend, showing that while endorsements might slightly boost name recognition, they rarely, if ever, change minds. Maher also highlights a worrying trend within the Democratic base itself. He points to data showing that younger Democrats are expressing significantly less pride in being American compared to previous generations. While there are complex reasons for this shift, Maher connects it to a broader narrative, often amplified by cultural figures, that focuses relentlessly on America's flaws without acknowledging its strengths, a narrative he believes is alienating to more traditionally patriotic voters. At the same time, he sees crucial independent voters drifting to the right. These are the voters who decide elections. They might lean left on some issues and right on others, but they are often pragmatic and deeply allergic to what they perceive as ideological extremism or cultural condescension. When they see the Democratic Party platform presented by figures they can't relate to, Maher argues, they tune out or turn away. This leads to endorsements that sometimes spectacularly backfire. Think of high-profile campaigns where a constellation of stars aligned behind a candidate, only to see them lose. Political strategists have a term for it: the backlash effect. It happens when an endorsement feels so forced, so disconnected from the voter's reality, that it actually galvanizes the opposition. It reinforces the idea that the candidate is part of an elite, out-of-touch establishment. And yes, in this conversation, even the biggest star on the planet got mentioned. Taylor Swift's immense cultural power is undeniable, and her political endorsements are national news events. Maher acknowledges her incredible influence, but frames it as the ultimate test of his theory. He questions whether even that level of superstardom can translate into a significant block of votes, or if it simply energizes both her base and her detractors in equal measure, resulting in a political wash. Now, to be fair, there is a counter-argument. Some strategists believe that in very specific targeted instances, a celebrity can help drive voter registration or turnout among a narrow pre-existing base of supporters. The goal isn't persuasion, but mobilization. However, even proponents admit these cases are the exception, not the rule, and they carry the ever-present risk of alienating more voters than they activate. Ultimately, Maher blamed what he calls an anti-common sense democratic agenda for losing critical ground. He's not just talking about presidential elections. He's talking about governorships, state legislatures, and congressional seats. He argues that the party is losing offices across the board, in places they should be competitive, because the national message, often filtered through a Hollywood lens, doesn't resonate with local concerns. It feels foreign, abstract, and disconnected from the daily lives of voters in swing states like Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, or Arizona. Because of this, he's been urging the party, almost pleading with it, to stop ignoring the gut instincts of the average voter. He believes there's a deep well of common sense in the electorate that feels completely unrepresented by the cultural conversations dominating the media. His core message is a direct challenge to modern campaign strategy. Stop assuming star power equals votes. Stop thinking a viral Instagram post from an actor is a substitute for a compelling economic message. Stop believing that a concert endorsement can fix a flawed policy platform. In other words, read the room. Maher contends that the room is America, and it's a lot bigger and more diverse than a Hollywood studio or a Twitter timeline. It's a room filled with people worried about the here and now. He implores Democrats to focus on relatable kitchen table issues like affordability, the price of gas, the cost of groceries, the ability to pay rent or a mortgage. These are the issues that dominate people's lives, and he argues they are being drowned out by abstract cultural debates that feel irrelevant to a family struggling to make ends meet. And then there's patriotism. Maher argues that the left has allowed the right to completely own the concept of loving one's country. He suggests that Democrats need to find a way to talk about America with pride again, to articulate a vision of progressive patriotism that acknowledges flaws while still celebrating the nation's ideals. Ceding this powerful emotional territory, he warns, is political malpractice. So maybe, just maybe, it's time to stop preaching from a Hollywood podium. Maybe the most effective messengers aren't the ones with the most followers, but the ones who share the same daily struggles as the voters they're trying to reach. Love him or hate him, and there are plenty of people in both camps, Bill Maher's warning is deceptively simple and profoundly challenging to the Democratic establishment. It cuts to the heart of a fundamental question about modern politics: who gets to speak and who is actually listening? His conclusion is a stark one. If Democrats want to win, truly win up and down the ballot, they need a new playbook. They need to stop leaning on celebrities as a crutch and start doing the hard work of persuasion themselves. They need to start winning voters back, one conversation, one policy, one shared value at a time. It's a call for a return to retail politics, grounded in reality, not celebrity. But is Maher right? Or is he an old-school pundit missing the dynamics of a new media age? The core of his argument is that a gap has opened between the cultural elite and the voting public, a gap that celebrity politics only widens. He's forcing a difficult conversation about authenticity, relatability, and what it truly takes to win an election in a divided nation. The debate is raging and more reactions are coming. We'll break down the data, look at the case studies, and hear from the other side. Stay tuned.